Hi guys, thanks for checking out my channel, Grown Kiddin. I told you guys I'd come back with some more footage, and I have. So this is going to be another 10-minute segment from Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, once again, I will say it's not going to be the most exciting gameplay, but that's quite good. I suppose that works out in my favour, and it also works out in yours, because I wanted some very honest gameplay, some very honest footage to give you a solid depiction of what the game is, how it plays, and exactly what it has to offer. And sometimes sometimes I think and feel that things are very over glamorized on the internet. You're shown the best bits, you're shown the action sequences, you're shown what happens when we punch someone in the face or when we shoot someone. So as you can see right now, I'm simply driving the truck. We are on our way to a destination. Once again, I'm playing my friend Izzy Ballin. Now we're on our way to a destination to steal the helicopter. You can see in the background we have an icon which depicts how far we have to go until we reach our destination. So we're closing in on that. I'm just having a quick look at the map. As you can see, that's where you can see all your other objectives and anything else you may wish to do. Right, so we're about 400 meters out. We're on our way to go and steal this helicopter. Now in the meantime, I will point out that this has been captured using the system's DVR on the Xbox One, so it's not going to look nowhere near as beautiful as it will when you play it on your own screen in full glory, so to speak. So we decided to go in full guns blazing, or I decided to go in all guns blazing. I thought I could run them all over with my truck, because it's a strong truck. It can take a lot more damage than a lot of the other vehicles we've had up to this point in the game. That method probably would have worked if I didn't get stuck like a moron. So these guys are going to town, they're trying to shoot off our truck. I'm trying to get Izzy to shoot the enemies, and he's reminding me that he's on the other side of the truck and he can't aim at them from where he is, which means that we're getting shot up even more, and we're not doing any damage to the enemy. But I managed to turn around, get him to do a bit of damage, or I try to, but I don't think he can aim well from where he is. We end up getting out of the truck, which you're going to see in a moment. The truck sustained a lot of damage, and I just wasn't getting anywhere. Came out, tried to quickly shoot one of the enemies, bam, I'm down. Now the nice thing is, you can see, you get a time limit where you get to revive. However, if both of you are down, then the mission will be over, which is what just happened. KIA, killed in action, common sense. Obviously we didn't make it, sadly. Your loading screens aren't going to be too long in the beta. Obviously I assume it's going to be very similar in the full game, but I didn't find the loading screens were too long. Maybe that's because I had a second player, so I had someone to talk with in between. But generally speaking, for open world games, I don't mind loading screens. I think if you're going to load an entire map and I have the freedom to go across all of it, I don't mind the odd loading screen here and there. Like I said, it wasn't too long for me. Maybe you guys feel different. Okay, so we're going to run through the cornfield looking like a horror movie. And we're going to try the mission again.
Drone is airborne.
So, this time we're going to use the drone. We're going to target the enemies, see where they are. Once again, the drone is a very, very nice piece of kit. As you can see, at the bottom of the screen, you can see the battery life of the drone and the range. Now, things like this are actually upgradable. So, once again, similar to Division where you can upgrade your stuff, you can do that in this game. I will point out, with my Division comparisons, now having a chance to sleep on it and arguably reflect, I do feel somewhat different to Ghost Recon. I was leaning a bit more towards Division when I played it yesterday. Now, the thing is, after getting a bit more of a hands-on, we spent a good 9 hours playing this bad boy. After a bit more of a hands-on, I did realise the main difference between this and the Division. And that is, whether you team up on the Division or whether you go solo, it's a very serious experience. There's not really time for fun and games, it's kill or be killed. You're going to have a few different methods to take things down, but in general, the Division is a very serious experience. That doesn't mean it can't be fun, but it's very serious. Ghost Recon is more fun, more zany, more wacky, more chaotic. Do you want to steal a plane? Do you want to ram these guys over with a truck? I mean, the vehicles allow for a lot more depth and a whole other dynamic, a whole other playing style. So this game's going to be a lot more chaotic. The best way for me to describe it is this. Ubisoft had two kids. It had Division. Now, Division studies and is very book smart. And Ubisoft also had Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands is the naughty child. And that's exactly what Ghost Recon feels like. It's very unchained. It's arguably closer to something like a Grand Theft Auto, so to speak. You've got a lot more freedom, and it's just a lot more crazy. It's still got a very serious tone to it, but because of the mechanics and the things you can get away with doing in the game, it's going to provide a lot more opportunities to just have some all-out fun, as opposed to approaching every situation in the most serious manner. So that said, to give you some context, the games are similar in some ways.
Took you so long.
Sorry, back again on my cold. The games are very, very similar in some ways, but very, very different in others. And I would say,
Looks like a location for
pick
one
the
of
right
those
one for you.
cartel antennas.
Arguably, you
Let's
can
shut
play
it
both
down.
and enjoy them. Once again, this is me tagging some items. You tag items and you actually get points for it. In terms of game story, you tag the items for the rebels or your unit to come and collect later. Therefore, they go into your resources, Metal Gear Solid 5-star. So, back to what I was saying. You can easily purchase The Division and purchase Ghost Recon Wildlands and enjoy both. Or you can lean more towards one than the other. If you want a slightly more contained, arguably slightly grittier experience with a bit more of a serious tone, if you want to feel like you're, I suppose, at war or in a very dire and desperate situation, then I'd say that Division is going to have a better tone for you. Arguably a little bit darker in both tone and colours, and the game feels in general a bit more desperate and a bit more serious. Now, with Ghost Recon Wildlands, this is going to be the game if you want to feel like you are, you know, part of a military or a navy or, you know, that sort of unit, so to speak. But it allows you to do all the crazy action stuff you would with that. So where your Division is, I suppose, going to be a bit more grounded and a bit more gritty, Ghost Recon is going to be a bit more loose, a bit more action-packed. You can actually live out the action scenes that you see in movies. For example, there was a point while playing with Izzy Ballin, enemies had got him, I drove to him, gave the car a beautiful 180 donut, picked him up, and we drove off. There was times where we was driving down the mountainside and it just felt like a scene ripped from Bad Boys 2. The car was just bouncing all over the terrain as we was driving down. So it is definitely fun, and it is making me reconsider my stance on whether or not I should buy the game. I am now leaning a lot more heavily towards purchasing it. However, I'm still up in the air if it's going to be a day one purchase, just because I've got a lot of things that I want to buy in the next few months. Alright, anyway, back to the gameplay you're actually seeing, now that I've had my little information time. So, we're getting them a chopper. Like I said in the last video, I hated using them at first, but once you get better, I'm not going to say get good, but once I had a chance to get better at controlling the helicopter, possibly because in real life I don't know how helicopters work, I assume your momentum is drawn to the area directly above your main rotors, so therefore you need to tilt it down to move forwards, but that's just from what I know and from what I've seen. So, we're in the helicopter now. This helicopter seems to be really fast, so it's great when you want to really zip to a mission. Now, this is one of my favourite things to do in the game. I absolutely love this. Fly up as high as you can. You purchase your parachute upgrade. As you can see in the bottom left of the screen, you can change seats, which is actually very helpful. You can equip a parachute, put your light on, change your picture to play, and yada yada yada. So, we're going to fly up as high as we can. We decided, yeah, we're going to still just plane for a mission. So, we're flying up in the air, and we're going to parachute straight down, steal the plane before they even had a chance to know what hits them, and hopefully fly out. Smooth sailing, right? That's the plan. And once again, this is exactly what I mean about the fun and the chaos of this game, and this is what makes it so beautiful, both in terms of visually and creatively. So, 3, 2, 1, boom. Parachutes out. That was good timing, because I didn't actually remember how it was going to happen. Now, unless I'm very mistaken, and I don't believe I am, I almost perfectly managed to land right next to the helicopter, and this allows me to get away fairly unscathed, which I suppose is what 9 hours will do. Look at that landing. I mean, come on, I deserve points, or a medal, or a platinum trophy, something. That's it. Get in the helicopter. As the lights go on, you're going to see there are people there. They're going to start shooting, but guess what? It's too late, buddy. We already stole your ride. What are you going to do now? So, I was speaking to Izzy Borden through the phone, because only one of us has a mic at this moment. And I actually told him, do you know what? Stay there. I've already got the copter. I'll bring it to you. You quickly hop in while they're firing at us. And we soar off into the distance like a beautiful romantic comedy. Um, anyway, guys, that's going to be it for now. I really hope you enjoyed this slice of gameplay. Once again, I'm aware it wasn't the most glamorous, but I wanted something very honest to really give you a good perspective of how the game plays and feels. If you do want to know any more, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, you can leave a comment on the YouTube video. I'll probably be playing the beta for another 1 or 2 days while it's still live, and having a bit more fun. As always, guys, stay winning, stay kidding, and let me introduce you to the motto. I'm a big kid today, and damn it, I will be a big kid tomorrow. I'm out.